As a nation now tackles and battles the second wave of COVID, there are elections still going on in the state of West Bengal. Now, Mamata Banerjee has appealed to the Election Commission to conduct polls for the remaining phases in one go. She's tweeted saying, amid an ongoing pandemic, we firmly oppose the Election Commission's decision to conduct polls in 8 phases. Now, in the view of the huge surge in COVID cases, I urge ECI to consider holding the remaining phases in one go. 3 more phases are left, viewers. By the way, she put out this tweet and appeal after she had finished her campaigning for the day, which did involve large crowds, no social distancing, and hardly any mask visible in this campaign. So, irrespective of what political parties say, they've all gone all out this election season and are now turning around and saying, oh, let's relook at this plan. Can we do that for the next 3 rounds of polling? Can it be put together? When the nation is in a national emergency, should that not be focus instead of elections? Dr. Nikhil Prasan of the BJP joins us this evening, Manav Jaiswal of TMC. And I also have Dr. S.Y. Qureshi, former CEC, joining me right now. But first up, let me go across to Manav. And in fact, before that, let me ask Nikhil this question, because I'm very curious to know where the BJP stands on this, Dr. Prasun. Should the elections now be curtailed? Is it a time we all get together and focus on the pandemic?
Well, actually, at the time of announcement of elections and the 8 phases thereof, the pandemic was on a decline curve. So this time around, a call has to be taken by Election Commission. Since there has been tremendous increase in the number of cases per day, it has already crossed 2 lakhs. So it has to be decided upon by the Election Commission. So we are here. I would like to assure you that we would definitely be abiding by what is decided by Election Commission. So it is up to them to decide, but this is our responsibility as well. Irrespective of that, we should definitely be asking our people to follow social distancing and use face mask and all those things. And it is already time and again been repeated by Honorable Prime Minister and other leaders of ours that we should definitely be sticking to these protocols, as has been emphasized by Prime Minister in his subsequent meetings with the Chief Minister as well as the governors.
Okay, Dr. Prasan, I agree with you. When the decision was taken by the Election Commission, the pandemic wasn't at this level, but it has been for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks at least. It's been really disconcerting to see visuals of these large-scale rallies that are happening up till now. Why is the BJP still doing that? Let me ask you that question. Even if the Election Commission says, abhi 3 dates decided hai, we will continue as planned till May 29th. Are you still going to conduct these rallies?
No, we have to stick to the protocols enunciated by Election Commission. Election Commission has already come out with certain set of guidelines which are required to be adhered to. If they release certain new set of guidelines and certain new set of restrictions, that is bound to be followed by all of us.
Have you been adhering to these guidelines all throughout or not?
Pardon?
Have you been adhering and following these guidelines all this while or not?
Well, we are trying our level best to do so. Our leaders have been asking the populace, since it at times becomes practically difficult to impose and execute, the same in the letter and spirit. There's so many loopholes, it becomes practically difficult. I accept that there have been, shortcomings, and that we would definitely be looking into. But, we have to
I can actually tell you, I don't think there was an attempt at all. I know it's a difficult job for you. Your job is to defend the party in such tricky situations, and I'm not going to put you on a spot any longer. But I think the visuals make it very clear. The way these visuals have been tweeted from all official handles of your party and politicians just goes on to show that you've been extremely glad at the kind of turnout that has happened without any social distancing or mask. That aside, the turnout has been your focus. I'm going to ask the same question to Manav Jaiswal. Mighty grand of Mamata Banerjee to make this demand after she's done campaigning for the day and TMC's done campaigning for the day, including crowded rallies.
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you, ma'am. You've been doing a great job. It's been almost day end. There are a few things which we need to highlight. We have already been in talks with Election Commission while the dates were announced. And I believe we are a country where we have got a huge amount of respect for our scientists and the researchers and the analysts. If you're not wrong, there have been some editions in January and February where your people, your news channel has also predicted a kind of a wave which was almost forecasted in the month of January when Maharashtra and the other part of the northern India was already, engrossed with the pandemic, and it was growing in numbers. Somehow I don't know what really happened to tell me that the Election Commission did not know about this. Well, the most important responsibility of the Election Commission is to know the situation of the land where the election is going to happen. We had requested the Election Commission, we had sent letters to the Election Commission about the pandemic. We had requested the Election Commission that to reduce the number of days, even if you want to do number of phases, doesn't matter, but we reduce the number of days. And also we had requested for, decrease in the number of phases, which Netri has been telling again and again. Even today, she has done a conference and she has also sorted a regard like what is actually happening across the country, which, as you said just a couple of minutes back, the Election Commission did not knew that the pandemic would run in so fast and so furious. With all honesty, I don't think that my scientists are so, in such a situation where they did not predict it in the month of January. They already did. Even then, we had said, okay, we are not ready for the next 4 phases or probably whatever be the case. We are happy to have one phase election for the rest of the phases. And it's up to the Election Commission what they want to decide. While talking about the political front, I'm really sad that nobody questioned Mr. Rawat, who is basically the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, who has stated that Corona can be gone only with the Ganga Snan. Simultaneously, there is an MP in Madhya Pradesh who has not been pulled out by the guardian of the BJP, saying that, people can die, people do die
Joint
old age.
Operation could not have warranted Election Commission at that point in time to conduct the elections in.
Mr. Manav Jaiswal, leave the aspect of questioning to us. We will do a decent job of it, trust me. Just answer my question first.
How could a chief minister...
My question to you is, how can a chief minister of a state where cases are surging... Manav,
आप ridiculous.
आप खुद रैली कर रहे हैं, आपकी चीफ मिनिस्टर खुद रैलीज कर रही हैं, खुद सब जगह घूम रही हैं, आप उनसे सवाल क्यों नहीं पूछ रहे?
लेकिन आप क्या ये नहीं पूछ सकते कि भैया आपके चीफ मिनिस्टर हैं, उन्होंने बोला है कि भैया गंगा स्नान से कोरोना चला जाएगा? Such an irresponsible statement. Do you don't have that kind of analogy that what is that conspiring to?
The day she was banned by the Election Commission,
Okay.
it was imperative.
I am not going to go into this. महिला का डिबेट हम 3 दिन से कर रहे हैं और चीफ मिनिस्टर से बहुत सवाल पूछ चुके हैं. May I just go across to Mr. Qureshi? I have him just for a few minutes. It is very important what the political parties are raising today, especially the TMC, Dr. Qureshi. I wanted your view to understand, is it possible now? We have 3 more phases left. One, of course, is on Saturday, and then 2 more. Last one on 29th. Can the Election Commission now move around to combine these into one?
Well, the Election Commission can combine with the proviso that it cannot prepone the election because 14 days of campaign is part of the law, which cannot be shortened even using Article 324. But 14 days can be extended to 20 days, 25 days, which is why the clubbing can only be done with the last phase. And of course, it goes without saying that if that is the decision taken, all physical rallies must be banned because saving lives is the foremost responsibility of the Election Commission.
So you're very right that obviously preponing it will be difficult because people need to be given their justified time for campaign.
No. Don't let me make it clear that not because of any convenience. Legally, it is not possible because law provides for 14 days of campaign after the withdrawal of the candidature. Now, since already the notification for all the phases has already happened, the shortening of 14 days is not possible even if we want to do it. But extending the 14 days to 18, 20, 25 is possible, which is why clubbing can only be done with the last phase.
Yes, so say April 22nd and April 26th, phase 6 and 7 can be pushed to phase 8, which is on April 29th. Logistically and as well, this is something that is possible, right? This last minute.
Yes, possible. Legally, logistically, and sense required that this should be considered.
Yes, absolutely. I think that perhaps something that the election commission could have also looked at earlier, but considering how bad the situation is right now, maybe now would be a good time as well. Dr. Qureshi, thank you so much for joining us and giving us that clarity. So it comes back to the politicians. Now, Dr. Prasun, I'm simply asking you, what is the BJP stand? Are you in agreement that we can look at this option to try and save lives, minimize any further damage to Bengal?
Whatever is decided by the election commission will be followed and executed by us in letter and spirit. Given as has been stated by Honorable S.Y. Qureshi, that there is a legal binding that 14 days of campaigning period has to be provided. So keeping that particular thing in mind, whatever is legally valid and whatever is promulgated by election commission, it should be legally binding on us as well. And we assure you through your program that we will definitely be trying to abide to it in letter and spirit as far as practical and pragmatic.
No, but that is fine. That you should. I mean, I would be really concerned if you didn't want to follow what the EC decides. But I'm certain the BJP has a view on it, Dr. Prasun, because we are looking at a situation where it's a national emergency across the country. In Bengal, there were 22 deaths in one day, 6,700 cases in all that have happened. Testing labs are overburdened. Kolkata hospitals, and Kolkata is yet to go for elections. Kolkata hospitals are completely out of infrastructure. The official machinery also needs to focus on tackling this. Would you not want that? Or just like the Kumbh Mela is on and Panchayat elections in Uttar Pradesh are on and by-polls in Karnataka are on and you're all busy campaigning there or backing a Kumbh Mela, you are okay with this election also going on?
Well, we believe that lives are more important than elections. So therefore, we give priority to life, not elections. That remains our point number one. Number two, I think if there are certain set of restrictions, for example, much more boost to the digital campaigning, etc., staggered election campaign and all those newer restrictions are put, we will definitely be abiding by it. So far the clubbing of the, phases are concerned, I think the ball lies in the court of election commission. It has to take a call. I would not like to comment on this.
Okay. Final comments from Manav, who wants to respond to what Dr. Prasun said.
Well, Dr. Prasun has really empathized with the country. Life is very important. It just reminds me of how the lockdown was done without any information and how the migrant laborers literally died when they were about to reach home, and how the pandemic was spread at every street and corner in the country. That was a good example of how life is more important. Simultaneously, I need to make the country aware that our Netri, the CM, Mamata Banerjee, she has already stated that she is okay with having a clubbed election with a number of phases which is there to put it into one. She has already said that's for the health of the people in the state, for the security, for the safety of the health and healthcare. And while I need to tell you that, ma'am, we are doing a complete surveillance as well as the total day-to-day reports on the COVID issues. Every hospital has got a new pilot project where people are going and they're taking a track of how the total turnaround is being done. We are doing a total MIS report on a daily basis. Our call centers are open 24 hours, which are really...
there are no beds vacated in the whole state.
I am very glad, Manav, somebody gave you...
I'm very glad, Manav,
somebody gave you a list of things.
Of the health ministry
1 minute.
Doing the painting there on the street.
Dr. Prasun, you don't know. There's a relative of mine who has already been admitted yesterday, and through just a call center, and there was a call center who sent in an ambulance to the Ambulance hospital, and then the lady has been taken proper care. I did not know how you come to a conclusion.
I remain in the hospital day and night. I'm a doctor and neurologist.
How many beds is available in
I go inside the ICU with my PP on. People are running.
Okay, I'm completely out of time. I'm going to stop these gentlemen right now. Manav, I'm glad somebody gave you, a few pointers and a piece of paper on things that you think your government is doing on paper. But on ground, it was actually the Bengal doctors, the Bengal Association of Doctors, who first raised this issue and said, we will not be able to handle what's coming our way. So for anybody who says we didn't know this was coming, well, you should have heard the medical experts out, because the medical experts have been saying this for a while. Even in Bengal, the doctors have been saying this for a while. The situation is serious already. It's just that you may not be knowing about it because the politicians and the governments are busy with elections. are busy giving the long rope in the name of religion, are busy fighting for power, whether it's at the panchayat level or it is at the state level or even by-polls for Lok Sabha. All of this must happen. But when you turn around and ask them a question about the healthcare infrastructure, and did you not see this coming? Apparently not. When you turn around and ask them a question about what about the young students, what about their exams, do you have a plan there? Apparently not. That's their level of priorities in this country. Thank you for joining us.